Sometimes the dogs at the shelter aren't yet ready to go outside because either their immunizations aren't complete or they're on a shelter quarantine or for whatever reason. These animals still have a lot of energy that they need to get out, but there's really nowhere for them to release it. So when I work with them inside, I try to be as efficient as possible, exercising them mentally and physically. In this video, you're seeing 10-month-old Wilson learn how to put 2 paws up on the box to get his treat. This is likely the first time Wilson has ever been asked to do this, and you could literally see the wheels turning in his head. Next, I ask Wilson to do it again, but on a different object. You can tell that he's excited, curious, and engaged, wanting to do more and wondering what's next. Again, you can almost see him thinking, just wondering, how am I going to get this treat? This object is higher than the other one, and he's a little bit uncertain. I moved closer to the object, and that seemed to make him feel a little more safe. Not only is this working his mind and exercising his muscles, but he's gaining confidence. So we did this activity a couple more times, and then we tried something new. In this exercise, I'm indicating that I want Wilson to go through the opening under the chair. He got it, but he was a little too big to fit through the opening. So I push the chair aside and we move on to something new. I just love how Wilson is watching me every step of the way, just wanting to know what's next. He absolutely loves these games, which makes it a lot easier to make sure that he's properly mentally and physically exercised in a short amount of time. In this activity, I'm asking Wilson to go through the box in order to get his treat. I always guide him with a treat so that he knows where I want him to go. This time he picked it up very quickly. We try this again, but from the other direction, which seems to be a little more difficult. We keep trying though, and eventually he gets it. It's a little clumsy, but he gets it. For the next several minutes, we decide to take a little bit of a brain break and just play some tug of war and fetch. It's so important to work their minds with these games and training, but we need to give them a little bit of a break every now and then. Some good old-fashioned fun with toys is a great way to do it. I always bring a few different types of toys with me because sometimes they're interested in one kind but not the other. For example, Wilson had very little interest in playing with the tennis ball that I brought, but he loved this plushie. I have a limited amount of time that I can spend with each dog if I'm going to be able to get them all out. So to wind up our session, we take it down a notch and work on something basic, like sitting. For an excited young pup like Wilson, who just wants to jump and play and have fun, that's a little bit difficult. Wilson and I spent a total of 20 minutes together. Mental stimulation can sometimes be even more demanding than physical exercise for a dog. This combination of physical and mental exercise is one of the best things that we can do for a shelter dog who spends most of his life in a kennel.